Hey everyone, welcome to Homeschool. And I am with class 11 chemistry series. I started with the chapter Basic Concepts of Chemistry. In my previous videos, we have discussed everything about mole concept and the calculations based on the mole concept. And today I have come up with again one more important topic of the chapter, that is stoichiometry. Stoichiometry, and some will pronounce this as stoichiometry. So both ways of pronunciation is correct, so it is up to you which one would you pronounce, stoichiometry or stoichiometry, but I will pronounce it as stoichiometry because I was taught that way in my PUC time. Okay, so let me call it as stoichiometry. Fine. Say, what do you mean by a new term called stoichiometry? It's nothing, very simple, but most of the children feel complicated towards this particular aspect. But everything is there in understanding a chemical reaction here. So you must perfectly understand the entire aspects of chemical reaction. Once you know the information about chemical reaction in different terms, then the calculation is nothing. It is just a matter of cross multiplication. Clear? Fine. So let us try to understand the meaning of the word stoichiometry. You know what in Greek? Stoichion. Stoichion means element. So in Greek language, stoichion means element. And metry, we all know the metry is nothing but measurement. Measurement, right? So the stoichiometry involves the measurement of elements that is there in a chemical reaction. Okay, so a chemical reaction always takes place when you try to combine two molecules or two compounds. A new products are formed. So here we are going to measure some properties of those compounds or elements or atoms, whatever may be, whichever may be present in a chemical reaction. We are going to measure some properties. Which are the properties we are going to measure? We can measure volume, we can measure mass, we can also measure the number of reacting moles, right? About the elements. And the calculations involving these measurements are called stoichiometric calculations. Okay, so what do you mean by stoichiometric calculations? You know what? The calculations involving the measurements of moles or mass or volume of compounds or atoms in a chemical reaction is called stoichiometric calculations. Okay, say for stoichiometric calculation, one condition is you must write balanced chemical reaction. Okay, so you must know how to balance a chemical reaction also. So definitely you must have an idea about balanced reaction or chemical reaction. Clear? And now I will just give you one balanced chemical equation and I will talk about that equation in different terms. I can talk about a particular equation in terms of mass, I can talk about a reaction in terms of volume, or I can talk in terms of molecules or moles. Right? Now let us try to understand that particular concept. And the one which I am telling you now is the most important aspect to understand, because once you know how to talk about a reaction in terms of mass, mole and volume, I think your stoichiometric calculations would become more easier. Okay, so now let me consider a balanced equation. Consider a balanced equation. Okay, I will consider combustion of methane. So can you able to recall what do you mean by combustion reactions? Very common type of chemical reactions, right? Combustion reaction means you're burning something in presence of oxygen, and after combustion products are always carbon dioxide and water, isn't it? So now I'm taking an example of combustion reaction of methane, CH4. So how do you write combustion reaction of methane? CH4 reacting with oxygen. Combustion is always a reaction with oxygen, burning in presence of oxygen, and products are always carbon dioxide and water, isn't it? So this is the combustion reaction of methane. And once you write the reaction, try to balance the equation, right? So is the equation balanced? No, you have to balance it. Okay, check the carbons first. One carbon, one carbon. Okay. Later hydrogens, four hydrogens here, two hydrogens here. You should make four. How do you make four? You will add two there, right? And now check it out with oxygens. 2 plus 2, 4 oxygens this side. And how many oxygens are there this side? Only 2. But you have to make it 4. So I'll be adding 2 here. So you all know these are called as reactants and these are called as products, right? So now I balanced all the reactants with products. Now this is a complete balanced chemical equation, I can say. Okay, say this particular equation I can write in various terms. Okay, if I have to explain this equation to people, I can explain it in various terms. Okay, let me check it out this way. Try to observe. If I write the equation in terms of molecule, I mean you can explain the reaction to people in terms of molecules. How do you explain? I can say one molecule of methane, and if nothing is there, it means that there is one, right? And these things, this one, two, and again here if nothing is there, one, and this two, these are called as stoichiometric coefficients. Okay, so they are called with the name stoichiometric coefficients. So whatever the digits we have put for balancing, no, they are called as stoichiometric coefficient. So if I ask you what is the stoichiometric coefficient for methane, it is 1. If I ask you what is the stoichiometric coefficient for oxygen, it is 2. Similarly, stoichiometric coefficient of carbon dioxide is 1. Stoichiometric coefficient of water is 2. Okay, fine. So with the help of stoichiometric coefficients, I can always explain a chemical reaction in terms of molecules. Okay, so now I'm writing a sentence to explain this reaction in terms of molecules. So this is very, very important to understand. Okay, fine. Say I can always say one molecule of methane reacts with two molecules of oxygen to give one molecule of carbon dioxide and two molecules of water, right? So this is the way of explaining this chemical reaction in terms of molecules, right? Now the same reaction I can explain in terms of moles. Okay, see, in terms of moles I can say that 1 mole of methane reacts with 2 moles of oxygen to give 1 mole of carbon dioxide and 2 moles of water. See, this is the way I can explain this chemical reaction in terms of moles. Okay. Similarly, I can explain the same reaction in terms of mass, also in terms of volume. Let us see how we can write. See, in terms of mass. This is very, very important to understand in terms of mass. Okay. You know what? 1 mole of anything is equal to its molecular mass or atomic mass. That we have learnt it in mole concept, isn't it? See, we all know that 1 mole is equal to molecular mass or atomic mass. Atomic mass. Say if I say 1 mole of O2 gas means what? It is 16 grams of O2, isn't it? So 1 mole is always equal to its molecular mass or atomic mass. Say now, see here in terms of moles you observe, I have written 1 mole of methane. 1 mole of methane means what? What is the methane's molar mass? Mass of 1 mole of methane is how much? 16 grams, right? Carbon's atomic mass is 12 plus hydrogen's atomic mass 1. So 12 plus 4, it is 16. So 1 mole of methane means here, you know, its molecular mass, that is I can say 16 grams of methane reacts with, okay, how many moles of oxygen? 2 moles of oxygen. Okay, so 2 moles of oxygen means what? 2 into what is the molecular mass of O2? 1 mole means what? It is the molecular mass of O2, right? So how much is the molecular mass of O2? It is 16 grams, isn't it? So 2 into 16 grams. Clear? So I can write 16 grams of methane reacts with 2 into 16 grams of O2 to give 1 mole of carbon dioxide. 1 mole means what? Its molecular mass is how much? 44. To give 44 grams of carbon dioxide and you know how many moles of water? 2 moles. That means 2 into 18 grams of water. Isn't it? See, molar mass of water is 18. 1 mole of water means 18 grams. So 2 moles in the sense 2 into 18 grams. Okay. So this is the most important way of writing an information about a chemical reaction. So we have explained about a chemical reaction in terms of mass. Okay, so remember 1 mole of anything is equal to its molecular mass or atomic mass. This is all we studied in mole concept, right? Fine. So using that, I could write 16 grams of methane reacts with 2 into 16 grams of oxygen to give 44 grams of carbon dioxide and 2 into 18 grams of water. Okay, so why did I multiply it here 2? Because it is 2 moles. 1 mole means 16 grams, but here you have 2 moles, no? So 2 into 16. Okay, similarly with water, right? So this is how you can talk about this chemical reaction in terms of mass. Now, let us speak in terms of volume. Let us speak about a chemical reaction in terms of volume. Okay, so how do you tell in terms of volume? You know what? 1 mole of any gas can occupy 22.4 liters. Yes or no? 1 mole of any gas can occupy 22.4 liters. That's what we call molar volume. Say here, if I have to talk about this reaction in terms of volume, see 1 mole means what? It will occupy 22.4 liters. So I can say that 22.4 liters of methane reacts with how many liters of oxygen? 2 moles. 2 moles in the sense 2 into 22.4 liters of O2 to give 1 mole of carbon dioxide. Means if you talk in terms of volume, it is 22.4. 1 mole can occupy 22.4 liters, right? So to give 22.4 liters of carbon dioxide and 2 into 22.4 liters of water. Okay, so this is how I can talk about that chemical reaction in terms of volume, right? So this way of writing about a chemical reaction is very, very important for any stoichiometric calculations. Clear? So especially you must know how to write a chemical reaction in terms of moles in terms of mass and in terms of volume. See, in terms of moles, it's easy. Just with respect to the stoichiometric coefficients, you will write like 1 mole of methane reacts with 2 moles of O2 to give 1 mole of carbon dioxide and 2 moles of water. Just stoichiometric coefficients you will see and you will write. But writing in terms of mass, 1 mole of anything is always equal to molecular mass or atomic mass, right? So 1 mole of methane means methane's molecular mass is how much? That many grams. So methane's molecular mass is 16. So 16 grams of methane reacted with 2 into 16 grams of oxygen to give 44 grams of carbon dioxide. You know, 1 mole of carbon dioxide, 1 mole means its molar mass, that is 44 grams, to give 2 into 18. 18 grams is molar mass of water, that is equal to 1 mole. Now you have 2 moles here, so 2 into 18. Similarly, writing the same equation in terms of volume. Okay, 1 mole can occupy 22.4 liters, we know it. So we have written 22.4 liters because it's 1 mole of methane, no? So 22.4 liters of methane reacted with this much liters of oxygen to give 22.4 liters of carbon dioxide and 2 into 22.4 liters of water. Okay, so this way of writing an information about a balanced chemical equation is compulsory for doing stoichiometric calculations. Okay, so now keeping this information in our mind, let us see what are the different types of stoichiometric calculations and let us understand how to calculate. See guys, all the stoichiometric calculations, for the sake of convenience, they are divided into 4 categories. They are calculations based on mass-mass relationship, calculations based on mass-mole relationship or mole-mass relationship, whatever, calculations based on volume-volume relationship, and finally calculations based on mass-volume relationship. So you must be wondering, what is this mass-mass relationship, what is this mass-mole relationship, etc. You will understand this once you see the example. Now let me give an example for the first type of calculation. See here, calculations on mass-mass relationship. Say here, mass of a reactant or product will be given in a question and they will ask you mass of some other reactant or product only. Mass they will give you in a question and they'll ask you mass only. Okay, so you can talk about a chemical reaction in terms of mass, molecules, moles and volumes, right? And they are giving you information with respect to mass and they are asking you to find out the things in terms of mass only. Then such calculations will come under mass-mass relationship. Look at the example, you will understand better. Calculate amount of water. Amount means what? It is in gram. Okay, whenever they say amount, it means that mass they are asking you to calculate. Calculate amount of water produced by combustion of 16 grams of methane. They have given information in grams. You see, they have given information in terms of mass. They said when 16 grams of methane undergoes combustion, some amount of water is formed. So that mass of water they are asking you to calculate. You observe one thing, they have given some clue with respect to mass and they are asking you to calculate mass of some product only, right? So this is an example that comes under mass-mass relationship. So now that you understood, right, what is the meaning of mass-mass relationship? Some information regarding mass they will give you and they will ask you to calculate about something in terms of mass only. So such problems or questions will come under this particular category. Okay, so now how do you calculate this? They said 16 grams of methane is there, it underwent combustion and you are getting some amount of water as a product. How much water you are getting? That is the meaning of the question. So for this, first you have to write a balanced chemical equation for combustion of methane. Which is the reaction? Combustion of methane. So how do you write a chemical reaction for combustion of methane? Balanced one. This is the first step to do. Okay. If you don't know how to write a chemical equation, then you can't do any stoichiometric calculation. So here, writing a balanced chemical equation is the first step, and that is the necessary step. Okay. So how do you write combustion of methane? Methane combustion means it is always a reaction with oxygen, and when anything burns in presence of oxygen, you will always get the products carbon dioxide and water. So this is combustion reaction of methane. Half the work is over. Now you have to balance it. Okay, so it should be balanced always. So how do you balance it? Here you will put 2 and here you will put 2. So now it is a complete balanced chemical equation. Okay, so now since they asked something in terms of mass and they have given something in terms of mass, let us try to understand this chemical reaction in terms of mass. Okay, say in terms of mass, what information you can pick from a chemical reaction in terms of mass? I can always say 16 grams of methane is reacting with 2 into 16 grams of oxygen to give 44 grams of carbon dioxide and 2 into 18 grams of water. This is how I can talk about this reaction in terms of mass. Okay, and now what information is given, what they are asking? They gave mass of methane and they are asking mass of water. So what information you can select here? I can always say that 16 grams of methane is giving how many grams of water? From chemical equation you selected. 16 grams of methane is giving 2 into 18 grams of water. Right. So this is the information I picked, I got to know from the above chemical reaction. Okay. Say 16 grams of methane reacted with 2 into 18 grams of water. Now check the question, how many grams of methane reacted to give how many grams of water? That you have to calculate. Say in question, they are asking 16 grams of methane when undergoes combustion, how many grams of water? From the chemical equation only we can tell it off. 16 grams is giving 2 into 18 grams of water. That means your answer is 16 grams of methane gives, okay, 2 into 18 means what? It is 36 grams of water. So your answer is 36 grams of water. This itself is the answer. Nothing is there to calculate. It is understood from the chemical equation that 1 mole of methane is giving 2 moles of water. 1 mole means what? 16 grams. So 16 grams is giving 36 grams of water. Nothing is there to calculate. Say sometimes the answer is given just by looking at the balanced chemical equation. Okay, so from the chemical equation, it is understood that 16 grams of methane after combustion, it is giving you 36 grams of water. So 36 is the answer. Clear? So this is how questions can be asked, under calculations regarding mass relationship. Mass of something is given, mass only they are asking. Okay, just pick it out from the chemical equation and give the answer. Right? Fine. Now, let us go for second variety, that is calculations based on mass-mole relationship. Okay. So that means, they give information in terms of mass and they will ask you something in terms of moles. Okay. Information given will be in terms of mass or mole, and it can be asked the other term. Okay, so mass they will give, mole they will ask, or moles they will give, mass they will ask. Okay, so this mass mole interconversion things are placed under this category, this heading. Okay, look at the question. How many moles of methane are required? See, they are asking moles, right? To produce 22 grams of carbon dioxide after combustion. Right. Say after combustion of methane, you got 22 grams of carbon dioxide. To form 22 grams of carbon dioxide, how many moles of methane must undergo combustion? That is what they are asking you. Okay, see, they gave you something in terms of mass and they are asking something in terms of moles. So these calculations will come under mass mole relationship. Okay, so let us first write the balanced chemical equation, then we will pick the information from the question and then decide what is given and what is asked. Okay, fine. Say, what is the chemical equation you can write for combustion of methane? The same equation, CH4 plus O2 giving you carbon dioxide plus water. You should balance it. So how do you balance it? You will put 2 here and 2 here. Right, fine. And from the equation, I can always say that how many moles of methane react to give, how much gram of carbon dioxide? See, always 16 grams. That means 1 mole of methane. Okay, 1 mole of methane will always give you 1 mole of carbon dioxide. So here they asked something between methane and carbon dioxide. So I took the information of methane and carbon dioxide only. Okay, so I didn't consider oxygen and water here because you see the question, they asked something about methane and they gave something about carbon dioxide. So only about these guys I'm taking and picking from the equation. Okay, so 1 mole, we know that 1 mole of methane is giving how many moles of carbon dioxide? 1 mole. Okay, but you see carbon dioxide information, they have given it in mass, right? So convert this mole into mass. I can see methane information they are asking in moles, but carbon dioxide information they have given it in mass. So I can always say that 1 mole of methane is giving 1 mole of carbon dioxide means what? It is 44 grams. Mole, when you write it in mass, when you write in terms of mass, 1 mole means what? It is equal to its molecular mass. So I can write 44 grams of carbon dioxide. So from the equation we got to know this. Okay, so from a balanced chemical equation we got to know this. 1 mole of methane is always giving 44 grams of carbon dioxide. And they are asking, if you get 22 grams of carbon dioxide, how many moles of methane is required? That's it. A matter of cross multiplication, right? So from the chemical equation, we could write this. This is important. So writing this from chemical equation according to a question is the major step in stoichiometric calculation. Okay, so they gave something about carbon dioxide and they asked something about methane. They asked about methane in terms of moles. They gave about carbon dioxide in terms of mass. So that's why I wrote 1 mole of methane is giving 44 grams of carbon dioxide. That is understood from the equation. Okay, and now they said 22 grams of carbon dioxide produced in the reaction means how many moles of methane would have reacted. This is standard we got from equation. And now they asked 22 grams of carbon dioxide produced from how many moles of methane. So cross multiplication you do, right? So 22 into 1 divided by 44. So 1s are 2s are. That means 0.5 moles. Okay, so 0.5 moles of methane when undergoes combustion, you will get 22 grams of carbon dioxide. Okay, so just logically by cross multiplication we are solving. But what is important here? Writing this information from a chemical reaction according to a question given is important. Okay, so if you don't know how to pick this information, then definitely you can't do any calculation. Okay, fine. So this is about, mass mole or mole mass relationship. Something they will give in terms of moles, they'll ask you to find out mass. Or they will give information in terms of mass and they'll ask you to find in terms of moles. Okay, fine. And now let us go for the remaining 2 categories also. See guys, let us check it out, the problem that is coming under calculations on volume-volume relationship. Volume-volume relationship in the sense volume of some reactant or product would be given, and the volume of some reactant and product only would be asked. Okay, volume is given and volume is asked. So the very first step is writing a balanced chemical equation. After that, you should pick the information from the equation with respect to question. Then you check it out what is given and what is asked. Then cross multiplication. So these are the steps we have to follow. We know, we have seen in the previous problems. And now let us try to read the question and first try to write the balanced chemical equation. What volume of dioxygen is required? Dioxygen means O2 gas. What volume of it is required for complete combustion of 2 volumes of acetylene at NTP? NTP is the standard temperature and pressure. That's normal temperature and pressure. Okay, fine. So they asked you the combustion of acetylene. Acetylene means what? Ethine. Okay, ethine. So now you have to write the combustion reaction of ethine. So what is the formula of ethine? Formula of ethine is C2H2. Yes or no? So this is what the structure of ethine, HH, right? So C2H2 is the formula of ethine. Combustion means it's always a reaction with oxygen, right? And then anything that burns in presence of oxygen always gives carbon dioxide and water, right? Okay, equation we have written, you have to balance it. How do you balance it? 2 carbons here, here 1, so I'll put 2. And coming to the hydrogens, 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens, okay. And now try to balance the oxygen. See here, 2 into 2, 4 plus 1. So altogether 5 oxygens are there in the product side. Coming to the reactant side, only 2 oxygens are there. So it's an odd number, right? You can't put 2 here. If you put 2 here, 2 into 2, 4 it becomes. If you put 3 here, 3 into 2, 6 it becomes. But you want 5. Then what you can do is, simple way of balancing, you put a fraction initially. 5 oxygens are there this side. You want 5 oxygens this side? No. So put 5 by 2. Okay, put 5 by 2. After that, you should not keep the fraction like this in an equation. So to remove that fraction, I will multiply the whole equation by 2. Okay, so if you multiply the whole equation by 2, what do you get here? If nothing is there, 1, right? So 1 into 2, 2. So I can write 2 C2H2 plus 5 by 2 into 2. 2 gets cancelled. So only 5 O2 remains. Isn't it? Is equal to 2 into 2, 4. 4 CO2 plus, right, 2 H2O. So now this is your balanced equation. Now you can check it once again whether it is balanced or not. How many carbons? 2 into 2, 4. Here 4 carbons. Okay. Hydrogens, 2 twos are 4. Here 2 twos are 4 hydrogens. Okay. Oxygens, 4 twos are 8. 8 plus 2, 10. So here 5 twos are 10. So now is a balanced equation. So I purposefully selected this equation is to show the balancing, right? So whenever you have an odd number thing, especially for the oxygen balancing, this method is used for balancing oxygen. Okay, so when you have odd number of oxygens in one side, the other side you have to balance it. Then first you can introduce a fraction. See here we wanted 5 oxygens. Okay, you can't put 2, you can't put 3, right? So then what we do, 5 by 2 we will put. If you want 7 oxygens, 7 by 2. If you want 9 oxygens, 9 by 2, like that. Okay, so here 5 by 2 we have put, and later to remove a fraction, we multiplied the entire equation by 2. Okay, so then here if nothing is there, 1, right? So multiply with the stoichiometric coefficient, 1 into 2, 2 C2H2. And then this 2 gets cancelled, so 5 O2, then 2 into 2, 4 CO2, then 2 H2O. So yeah, I think this method of balancing will help you a lot for balancing such reaction. Okay, fine. This is actually a shortcut way of balancing a chemical reaction. Fine. So now we have a complete chemical equation. Now let us try to write the information that we came to know from the equation. Okay, so what information I can write? So they are asking about what volume of dioxygen is required for complete combustion of acetylene, right? So with respect to acetylene and oxygen, we should write the equation. So from the equation we can understand that you should write the information in volumes, in terms of volumes. Okay, some volume is given, volume only they are asking. So from the equation we can understand that two volumes of C2H2 reacts with 5 volumes of oxygen, right? So that means two volumes of C2H2 reacts with 5 volumes of O2. They are asking what volume of dioxygen required for complete combustion. Okay, when two volumes of acetylene react. So when two volumes of acetylene reacts, 5 volumes you will get from the equation. They are asking when you have two volumes of acetylene, how much of oxygen is needed? From the chemical equation only will tell you, right? Two volumes require to react with 5 volumes of oxygen. They are asking that only. 2 volumes of acetylene need how many volumes of oxygen? So your answer is 5 volumes, right? So 5 volumes of O2 is necessary. Your answer is 5 volumes. Okay, so again, if you want to convert this volume in terms of liters, you want to write this volume in terms of liters, then what will you do? Say you know what, one volume, right? One volume occupies, one volume means it's a molar volume, that is 22.4 liters, right? One mole can occupy 22.4 liters. You have 5 volumes or 5 moles. So what you would do? 5 into 22.4 you have to do. When you do this, you will get your answer in liters. Okay. So that's how, whatever they asked in a question, according to that, you have to pick the information and calculate. That's it. Clear? Fine. So this is how the question under volume relationship. Now let us go for the last type of calculation. Calculations involving mass volume relationship. See, that means some mass is given, volume they will ask you. Mass of some compound is given, volume of something they are asking. So let us understand what is that equation or chemical reaction. Calcium carbonate decomposes on heating to give calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Reaction they told, right? So calcium carbonate is there as a reactant. When it undergoes decomposition on heating, it gave you calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. So this is our chemical equation. See whether it is balanced or not. One calcium, one carbon, 3 oxygens, 2 plus 1, 3 oxygens. Okay, it is already in a balanced form. Okay, now let us check it out. What is given and what they are asking. How much volume of carbon dioxide will be obtained by thermal decomposition of 50 grams of calcium carbonate? So they are asking how much volume means what? How much liters? How much liters of carbon dioxide you are getting when you heat 50 grams of calcium carbonate? Okay. So from the equation, what information you can take? You know, 1 mole, actually from the equation I can take 1 mole is undergoing decomposition to give how many moles of carbon dioxide? To give 1 mole of carbon dioxide only, right? So that means see, they gave information of calcium carbonate in terms of mass. So 1 mole of calcium carbonate, if you have to write in terms of mass, it is equal to its molecular mass. So what is the molecular mass of calcium carbonate? Atomic mass of calcium is 40, atomic mass of carbon is 12, atomic mass of oxygen is 16 into 3. So you will get 100. So 100 grams is undergoing a reaction to give 1 mole of carbon dioxide. See, carbon dioxide, write it in volume because they asked liters of carbon dioxide, right? So 1 mole of carbon dioxide, when you write it in liters, 1 mole can occupy 22.4 liters, no? So 100 grams is giving 22.4 liters of carbon dioxide. Okay, so now you check the question. You see, 50 grams if undergoes, how many liters of carbon dioxide you will get? That's what they asked, you know. We know from the equation 100 grams is giving 22.4 liters of carbon dioxide. Now if you have 50 grams, then how many liters of carbon dioxide you will get? Just a matter of cross multiplication, right? So how do you calculate? 50 into 22.4 divided by 100 you have to do. Okay, so that's it. So how much do you get here? So 0 gets cancelled, 1s are 2s are, right? So 1s are 1.2. So that means your answer is 11.2. So you will have 11.2 liters of carbon dioxide. So when 50 grams of calcium carbonate undergoes decomposition, how many liters do you get? You will get half of this, because half of this is reacting. So you will get half of this, logically speaking, that is 11.2 liters of carbon dioxide. Right? So this is all about the stoichiometric calculations. See, once you know to write the chemical equation, once you know to pick the information from a chemical equation according to a question, then your problem is solved. Just a matter of cross multiplication. Okay, so solving stoichiometric problems is very, very important, because this is what we must know to learn a concept called limiting reagent. So limiting reagent is the most important topic for competitive exams. See, if you see the past question papers on NEET or JEE, the more questions were asked on limiting reagent, especially if they have to ask from this chapter. So for calculations of limiting reagent, we must know how to do this stoichiometric calculations. Okay, so this is the most fundamental thing in chemistry for class 11 and class 12. So try to understand how we have calculated and how to convert mass to mole to mass, and mass to volume, moles to volume, all that. Say mole concept, and this is a connected concept, right? So that's all about today's session. In my next class, let me come up with a wonderful and the most important concept, that is limiting reagent. So don't miss to watch that limiting reagent, because I would be using a wonderful trick to solve a limiting reagent. So I'm not going to teach you a complicated method. I will finish the problems with a simple trick. You feel it much easier, right? Which can definitely help you for any competitive examination. So let us meet you all in the next session with limiting reagent topic. Till then, revise the concept, take care, and do subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in a easiest way and in a detailed way. Thank you so much.